Osio.
Osio.
That's Cherokee for greetings. Hello. My name is Awekwa Unyoni, Elkhorn, and I'll be your Gogaga, which means storyteller today. The first story I'd like to tell is the story of how a sky woman fell down from the sky. The creator, Unekwa, lived in the sky above the big dome, and he built a beautiful tree. But the tree was not made out of green leaves as we see here on earth. No, the tree was made with leaves of wisdom and of knowledge. And then he grew lonely. And so he said, well, let me create a child that will keep me company and be able to acknowledge all of the beautiful creation that I've created here in Skyworld. And so the Creator made a daughter, a woman. And she was very, very curious. Creator told her, this is the tree that I've created. We call it here in Skyworld the tree of life. Look at the tree, but do not go and dig near its roots. But one day, Sky Woman noticed that at the bottom of the tree was a little knocking sound. And she went closer to the trunk, and she heard again a little knocking sound. And lo and behold, she went very, very close and started looking out of her curiosity to find out what was this knocking sound. And all of a sudden she looked down further and further and further until whoop, down into the hole, through Skyworld, through the crystal dome. Sky Woman fell and fell and fell until she was almost falling into the waters that existed on Earth. And the Creator said, oh no, her curiosity got the best of her. So he said to the birds, go, catch Sky Woman before she falls all the way down to Earth. And up from the water came a giant turtle who had been living in the dark waters on Earth at the time. And Sky Woman was landed very softly on the back of this turtle. And then the other animals that had come down to the waters began to come out of the waters and get onto the back of this turtle. And Sky Woman would tell them stories while they were sitting there. And so many came: fox, rabbit, wolf, antelope, deer, elk, buffalo, until the back of the giant turtle was full of nothing but animals and Sky Woman. And it became too crowded. They didn't have enough room to sit. They didn't have enough room to rest. So then one of the animals said, let me go down deep into the water and bring up some mud and put it on the back of the turtle. And if we spread it out, I bet you we'll have enough room for everyone. So they all agreed, yes, yes, do that, do that. And so Fox went down deep, deep, deep into the water. But Fox never came back. Then finally Muskrat said, I can do it. Let me go down and get some mud and bring it back so that we can spread it out and have more room for us to rest. Muskrat went down and deeper and finally got mud. And Muskrat returned with a little bit of mud in his paw. And he put it on the back of the turtle. And all the animals in Sky Woman began to stomp on the mud to make it spread out. And the more they stomped, the bigger the mud grew. And it grew, and it grew, until magically a whole earth of land was now visible where they all could dwell and rest. We call that Turtle Island. So instead of us referring to America or Africa or Asia or China or Canada or South America, we say it's nothing but Turtle Island. And that's where Turtle Island came from.
Well, marshmallows is a little bit like your organs. For example, like your lungs or your...
Why do you eat them in there? Why?
Well, because if you go outside the earth, then there's a couple things are a little bit different. So one thing different outside the earth is you don't have air. So here I can suck out all the air with the pump, and I can show you what happens if you're in an environment that has no air. So you're going to make a puppet, and I'm going to make a puppet. Do you want to make a puppet too?
Jacob, let's make one of those.
You are natural.
So you can here. You use this body, and you give him some arms.
Okay,
Okay, want to put it in here?
I'm making candy.
I don't know if it works. I think this is better. Take all the air out of here. And then you have to pay attention what happens to your head, and to your feet, and to your body. Oh. So you see that, for example, the cheese is just not doing anything, right?
Yeah.
You can see maybe from the tomato here that the juice is being sucked out a little bit. But what else do you see?
What's happening? I don't see
Growing.
Oh, I can see what's the difference. This is color.
Yeah, you can see it, right? Okay, you can eat that one if you want. That has not been anything. So so if you go to a planet that has much more atmosphere than Earth, look what happens to you.
Cool! It's shrinking!
It's shrinking, yeah.
So
if you go
keep it there, Auntie, shrinking all the way.
yeah, so if you would travel to Venus just like this, the atmosphere of Venus would just completely like squish you into like a tiny little thingy.
A tiny little marshmallow.
A tiny little marshmallow, yeah, there you go. Of course, if we're outside of Earth, it gets all very cold. So now we're going to see what happens if we put the same marshmallow puppet in something very cold. And what we do is we use liquid nitrogen for that. Your man.
To make something to stand up like
I think he's gonna freeze.
I think so too.
I think he's gonna freeze into an ice cube.
Do an ice cube.
It's hot.
Oh, I lost some in.
it's called the tetrahedron structure.
Okay, watch out, don't touch this, yeah? See how cool it is? It freezes so hard.
Can I touch it?
No.
Why?
Let's just not touch it yet. See? It all gets so brittle because it's so cold.
Simple chemicals.
So you turn.
Don't touch it.
And that's cold.
No, you're good. You can touch it now.
You can eat them,
Can we eat it?
but I'm going to tell you something, a little secret here.
You can eat one that you have in your hand right now. Here, you can eat one of the. These are good to eat.